So I've always been fascinated with nightclubs because, I mean, they've only been around since the 1970s, and you're taking this room, you're filling it with a species that's taken millions and millions of years to evolve to become what it is, and then you're applying an interesting set of variables to it. So we've got music and lighting, which affect the superficial or sensory variables within the club. Drugs and alcohol, which affect perception, how we perceive what's actually going on. And status and sex, which affect our more primal drives. And on top of all that, as if it wasn't enough, the same rules that apply outside a nightclub don't apply inside. You can kind of get away with whatever you want in there within reason, I guess. I'm pretty interested in alcohol because of how it works chemically. It's inhibiting the top-level cognitive processes of our brain. And what that's doing effectively is exposing the primitive drives. That's food, water, sex, and aggression. So I've been living in a nightclub essentially since I was 16 years old, and I've run all sorts of different labs out of there, including how music can be used to affect or drive bar sales and how it affects attention span. But I remember when the recession kicked in 2008 and everybody felt this crunch and there was just this stress that was on everyone that was going out because people were still going out. They say nightclubs are kind of recession resistant. And part of being a good DJ is understanding what your clientele is about. What, you have to be playing what they want to hear, not what you want to hear. And so just briefly in terms of music, you've got major and minor keys. And even an untrained ear can tell you if a song is in a major key because it will sound happy, and minor keys generally sound a little bit more sad. You've also got songs that range in tempo from fast to slow. That's the number of beats per minute. And so what I did was I took the Dow Jones Industrial Average and I cross-referenced it with every song that's ever touched ground on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and classified it on these two graphs. On the left, we've got the tempo or the speed in beats per minute. And on the right, we have the key, whether or not it's major or minor. So if it's happy or sad sounding. And what we found out was that economic busts are associated with faster music in minor keys, and the exact same is vice versa. And using this data, we can predict based on the end-of-week Dow Jones average to a whopping 86.8% of what's going to be hot in popular music that week in terms of the tempo and key and other basic musical characteristics. Thanks very much.